This is the Bush Whisperer coming at you from the most beautiful penguin sanctuary, southern tip of Africa, Boulders Penguin Sanctuary, Simonstown, Cape Town. Life is a journey. We're going to roll with this. We're going to enjoy this. You've heard it said, you've considered it. What does it really mean when we say life is a journey? We're talking about, or at least I'm talking about, the self, as we experience it, is fundamentally a journey. The way in which we can leave ourselves behind and move towards ourselves. Something to consider. Like this, share this so it gets around, work the algorithms. When we are finding that life gets a bit much, we tend to want to close our senses. We tend to want to hide our minds and our thoughts from ourselves. Denial, suppression, and repression can set in. And when these facilities of the human consciousness are becoming expressed on the inner levels, we are essentially leaving ourselves behind. And in life, we are often leaving ourselves behind. We rush off into the fantasy of the future, or we rush off to consider the past, or we rush off to the plans in our heads of what we want to be, or we rush off to the fantasies and the delusions of who it is we think we are from the self. And we can, in this way, lose ourselves, literally. We can move so far from ourselves that we've forgotten who we are, losing ourselves in the process. It's really important to recognize that this whole process of who we are is a journey that seems to be crystallizing. Take that in for a moment and think about it. When you become authentic, when you start to express the truth, and this is normally done with a voice, better than text. I did an entire video about this. Go and take a look at it. It's very important to understand the difference between using words in the form of text and expressing the feelings of words when you speak. Because when you speak a word, the impact moves through your heart, vibrating the heartstrings. You can't speak words without feeling the impact of the words, but you can write them easily. And you can be in a state of denial when you're writing them. Joshua, you're in my way. Please stop that.
Why are you bumping?
Sorry, I can't see you when you stop right in front of me. So it's important to grasp the reality that we're living in. That we're living in a reality which is essentially an expression of who we are in the physical form. And it's essentially being true to ourselves that makes us enjoy the journey of life. Because joy is something that comes from deep within us. It's something that expresses the life force directly. And it is the essential expression of love that brings joy. We enjoy being around those that we love. We enjoy being loved. We enjoy loving. And loving engenders joy, and joy engenders love. Love is the expression of the unity of the life force field that unifies all beings, all cells together, tissues, different organs, creating cooperation, because love is essentially the spirit of a cooperation working itself out in the world. And this is why families are able to cooperate, to become teams. Teamwork is the fundamental principle expressed through love. And so when we are moving towards ourselves in this most fundamental way, by being a totally authentic human being that speaks from the heart, genuine, real, true, whatever that truth is. Sometimes there are uncomfortable truths that need to be expressed. Sometimes we need to be firm. Sometimes we need to give tough love. Sometimes we need to be humble. Sometimes we need to accept and just listen. And all of these different faculties of consciousness are part of moving towards authenticity. When we're wrong, we need to listen and accept that we're wrong, because we make mistakes. We've got to realize our fallibility. And when we become in tune with our fallibility and realize that we're not what we seem to be, then we're able to embrace the greater aspects of the self. And the greater aspects of the self are totally humble. Humility is when you're able to just learn. Learn and learn and learn. Learn from your own mistakes, learn from others' mistakes. Humble enough not to judge other people. Humble enough to realize that they're learning too. Humble enough to know that in the process of their learning, you're learning. In the process of your learning, they're learning. And that learning is the key. It's the most fundamental and most important thing that there is. This is a fundamental part of the spiritual journey, of understanding the nature of life and why we're here. So when we start considering that life is a journey, what this means is that we are either journeying towards ourselves or we're journeying from ourselves. And that's something to consider. The entire universe is revolving around you. And the journey that you're experiencing is to or from you. So next time when you start thinking about going somewhere or doing something, realize that that can become a journey from yourself, or you can be journeying of yourself. What does it mean to be journeying of yourself? To be journeying of yourself is to be following the deepest impulse in your heart. When you feel something so deeply in your heart that you don't have personal desires getting in the way. Your heart is moving you. I'll give you an example. When you see another human being in pain and you feel in your heart that there's something you can say or do to make their day better, there's a selfless moment. And when you're having a selfless moment, you're journeying of the self. The self is then moving closer towards another human being or another life form. If you see an animal that's hurt and you want to help that animal, there's nothing in it for you. You're just feeling the compassion and the care for that living being. You're journeying of the self, closer to that being, closer to make a connection between yourself and the self that is within that being. And by journeying of the self, we find a greater integrity being expressed by the self. This is something quite important to realize. And the greater the integrity that is expressed by the self, the closer we are getting to understanding ourselves and knowing who we really are in this world. It's very easy to get lost. It's very easy to forget our true identity in this process of the journey of life. And so we really want to learn to be journeying towards the self so that we can reach the point of journeying of the self. Because when the journey of the self truly begins, it becomes a wonderful expression of life. And everything starts to find meaning. The shaman is on an incredible journey of the self. The shaman is striving to find this meaning in nature, striving to understand the revelations of these meanings through nature, striving to connect deeply with nature, to discover that nature lives within the self, and that the entire universe is essentially a field of quantum entanglement, and that the principle of correspondence is fundamental, and that all beings, all objects, all thoughts are all an emanation of the unity. This is something to consider. The unity of the monad being expressed through the diversity of life. And we can get closer to this experience through the practice of integrity. And the practice of integrity is keeping it real. And the easiest way to re-engage your integrity is to start to use your voice. Don't hide behind words. Don't hide behind texts. Don't use a picture of somebody else. Don't hide behind some picture of when you were young and when you looked the way you wish you looked. Use your real picture, who you are now. Don't be afraid. Integrity starts with small steps. Small steps. Your real name, your real face, your real voice. And by you'll start to become in tune with your real self. And your real voice will be expressing who you really are. And you'll be attracting through harmonic resonance those that are in tune with your vibrational field. And then you'll be making real connections. And those real connections will bring you closer to yourself yet more, causing you to become more attuned to the journey of life of yourself. That's a very easy and fast engaging way to join the journey of yourself. Good morning, Dave. How are you?
Hello.
So enjoy the journey of yourself by connecting with the other selves in the world. And realize that all these selves are reflections of a greater self. as the occult therapeutic speaks of Adam Kadmon being this great unified self, the oversoul, shall we say, of humanity. And we can understand from Parabrahm the same concept, Manu, from the Vedas. These are universal concepts that have come to us through various different philosophies. And I will discuss these in depth. This Adam Kadmon, this Manu, this Parabrahm. What is this? To realize this is easy. You realize it by connecting with other human beings. And you will really connect with other human beings when your heart is engaging. So I hope this has been a great video. Do subscribe so you don't miss daily uploads. Like, smash the like and share this video. Let people see it. I hope you're having a totally gorgeous day. I hope you're finding peace and joy. I hope you're moving towards yourself so that you can move of yourself into the world, sharing yourself with those that you meet along the way, to bring joy, love, peace, and harmony into the world. Have an absolutely gorgeous day. Om Shanti.